In this tutorial, we're going to finish our self-portrait, and we're going to do that in the style of famous artist Romero Britto. Hopefully you've already done some research on Romero using the resource page of my website. I printed out a picture of a portrait done by Romero Britto, and this one actually does not have his signature broken up background, but it has a lot of the hair broken up so that pattern can be added. So that's the first thing that we're going to do, is break up our space a little bit so that pattern could be added. And my hair lends itself well to add some pattern. So I'm gonna break up my background, but I'm not gonna overdo it because I don't want it to sort of fight with my hair, so to speak. So I'm gonna do that using a ruler and my fatter Sharpie. I'm just gonna draw some lines to break up the space. And I just want maybe 3 or 4 main spaces to change pattern. Now that I look at that, I think I'm just gonna draw 2 lines and then have 3 different patterns in the background because my hair will include pattern. And so in this one, there's a good amount of balance because you have the solid next to all these different patterns and then more solid. If I were to overdo the background, plus I can fit some pattern in my hair, it might be too much. The other thing that is signature style of Romero Britto is to sort of divide the face. And I don't want to add pattern to the face because then it would look too busy. But what I can do is I can break it up a little bit so that I can have 2 different values, maybe more of a shadow side of my face and a highlight side of my face. So since my nose is right here and it's almost right at my eyebrow, that kind of makes sense for me to use this space right here as one of my connecting lines. And then I'm just going to pick one of these lines here and I'm going to do the same thing. So now this will probably be my shadow side of my face and this will be my lighter side of the face. Very similar to this self-portrait. Another thing that he did is he often used circles for cheeks, or in this case, 1 heart and 1 circle. I've seen 2 circles. You can do it on just one side. I think I'm gonna do 1 heart on one side, and I think I will put that on the shadow side. So I'm going right in Sharpie, but you'd probably want to do pencil first, and then if you don't like it, you can always erase. I'm going bold here. So that's the first thing I want to do. So now I have a lot of good places that I can add pattern. I can add pattern on my shirt, I can add pattern in my background, and I can add pattern in these shapes that are separating the areas of my hair. Some of them I might not, some of them I might. We'll see. If I wanted to, I could add like a stripe on my shirt. That would further give me an area. Or if I had like a baseball style tee, I'm gonna do that really quick, where the sleeves are a different color. And usually those kind of tees have a double neck like that. So if I wanted to add like a baseball style sleeve, now I could do patterns in either all 3 or just in the sleeves, whatever I want to do. So one of the resources that you will have is a sheet of Romero Britto patterns. And these are just patterns that you would see often in his work. The other thing you can do is something that we've already discovered is Zentangle. So you can do whichever you like. You can also do your own patterns. I'm going to do some Romero Britto and I'm going to do some Zentangle. They're actually very similar. So for example, in a Zentangle book, I often see this basket weave pattern, and it's also a Romero Britto pattern. So, you know, you can mix and match. So I'm going to start with that basket weave pattern because I kind of like it. And since it's kind of got a lot of line to it, I think I'm going to do it in one of my areas of my hair. And so that'll add some texture to my hair. And so I'm gonna do it right here. Now, when I'm doing my pattern, sometimes the pattern doesn't exactly fit in the space, so I kind of continue it as if it were continuing on, if that makes any sense. So I'm kind of envisioning it would continue on. But the main pattern is going to end up fitting in the middle of this hair. So I'm going to do this basket weave, and I hope you could see that. It's sometimes hard to draw with my hand in the right spot. I'm going to turn my paper. That might help the situation a little, and definitely will help for drawing. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up this basket pattern. Sometimes I kind of have my pattern follow the shape a little. And that's what I'm doing here. So the main lines in the middle are kind of following the curve of my hair. That one you might not be able to see very much. Okay, so that's my first pattern that I've added. I'm definitely going to do one in there too. Some of them I could just leave solid. So you can see that sometimes they'll have a solid piece within where patterns are. You can do it however you like. So I would continue on. My hair's dark, so having a tight pattern like that would be okay. I'm doing my patterns bright and Sharpie, and I like them to have a black outline, just like Romero Britto. Sometimes they are just a pattern drawn. Oops, I gotta shift that. Sometimes they are just a pattern drawn in black, but sometimes it has a black outline with different colors. So I'm gonna do like a polka dot here just to show you that I would outline it in black, but then I would probably do 2 different shades of brown for my hair to fill that in. So I would keep going and keep adding patterns. So these are both Romero Britto patterns. He uses dots, he uses the basket weave. I know I'd like to incorporate this one because I really like that. I think I'm going to do that down on my sleeve. I like to refer to this as kind of like a Hostess cupcake line. I don't know if you guys are in a different generation, but I grew up with the Hostess cupcake, and it always had that one line of frosting in the middle in white. Didn't even really seem like frosting. Anyway, okay, and then in this, I'm going to end up doing all of them, but I'm not going to have you watch me do all my patterns. And this one, I'm going to do my favorite of all favorite Zentangles. So again, these were Romero Britto. They're actually quite simple, something you could think of on your own. Sometimes I like to do a Zentangle. So I'm going to do my favorite one, which I tend to do everywhere and did in the Zentangle tutorial video. So I'm going to fill in the spot with this one right here. And then I will talk to you about color. And then I'm going to end up coloring those in anyway, but, and then I will post the finished piece. So this is my absolute favorite Zentangle. It's my go-to Zentangle that I do whenever I can't think of a Zentangle. I just go to my default Zentangle, which is this one right here. And again, I don't have an exact square here, so I have to just kind of think about where it would go off the page, so to speak. Off the shape, I guess you would say. So right here, it's gonna kind of, I can imagine where it would continue. And then this whole edge is gonna be like that, where it's gonna, I would imagine where it would continue. And this will be just part of the shape. And I generally tend to, I gotta go this way a little bit. I generally tend to end up filling these in. When I plan them out, I just draw them in circles, but you don't have to. You could have them be a different color. That's what's great about Zentangle. You can change it. So I have Zentangle, I have Romero Britto inspired patterns, and I can have some of my own in there, okay? So again, I would continue, and I'm gonna put patterns here, here, in this sleeve. I'll probably leave this solid. I'm gonna leave my face solid, and I don't know for sure if I'm gonna do all my hair. You'll have to wait and see, because I'll decide as I go. But I wanna talk to you about color. You can use colored pencil, making sure that you use the technique of scumbling to fill in with colored pencil. But Romero Britto is a very brightly colored artist. So if you use colored pencil, you're gonna wanna press hard so that you get bright, vibrant colors. You can also use marker. I happen to have a set of alcohol-based markers that I'm going to use. And so I'm just gonna show you really quick. So I have 2 colors. What's great about these is I have them in skin colors, so I can do my face with them. That's what's difficult with some sets of markers, is having skin colors. And these are nice because they have a broad tip and they have a brush tip. So actually, like when I'm in, and this was gonna be my shadow outside, when I'm in these little spaces, it's nice to have that little brush tip. But when I'm in my big spaces, it might be nice to have the broad tip like that. But either way, they're both nice. So like I said, whatever you do, you want the colors vibrant. Maybe not so much your skin tone, because then you tend to look unskin-like. Peach becomes orange looking and so on. But I guess with Romero Britto, that's okay. So with a marker, you want to be careful of some markers when you overlap, you get sort of the lines. So it depends on what marker you use, but you want to kind of keep your strokes going all in one spot. With colored pencil, you'd want to do more of a scumbling technique. And this is a lighter skin tone. And so, which looks like my tip is a little bit dirty. It's okay. Oh, this one maybe is picking up. It shouldn't pick up the Sharpie because Sharpie is permanent, but I'm not sure if it's just my tip. I'm gonna switch over to the broad tip and use that. So again, this one is not like really showing that overlapping too much, but when it does, I'm gonna try to like blend it in by going back over it. I kind of call that like a feathering over it, so that you don't get the idea of exactly where your marker went. And I would do the rest of the face there. So you can do either or, but the colors have to remain bright. You don't want to have white spots. You don't want to show the direction of where you're coloring. So I'm going to finish this up and then I will post the result.